Peter Obi did not hide his feelings when he decided to address the people of the Southeast about the coming election. He spoke with courage and clarity, because he knew that his words carried weight. Obi looked at the situation of Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in detention for years, and reminded the people that President Bola Tinubu has the power to free him but chose not to. He said that this fact alone is enough for every son and daughter of the Southeast to understand that Tinubu does not respect them and does not care about their pain. Obi explained that freedom is not something you beg for when it comes to justice. If someone is in prison unjustly, it is the duty of the leader to correct it. He said that Nnamdi Kanu's matter has dragged for too long and has caused too much division. He reminded the people that court judgments have spoken about Kanu's case, and there is no reason for him to remain locked up. For Obi, this is not only about one man, but about the dignity of a whole region. He told the people that if a leader can ignore such a clear issue, then that leader cannot be trusted with their votes. He went further to say that elections are moments when the people show their power. According to Obi, if the Southeast truly values justice and fairness, they cannot turn around and vote for a man who deliberately refused to do the right thing. He said it would be a great insult to themselves if they carry their voter's card and still cast their vote for Tinubu. Obi warned that it would mean they are approving of the suffering of their own people. It would mean that they do not care about Kanu, or about the voice of the Southeast that has been ignored for years. Obi also told the people that they must never forget the importance of unity. He explained that in politics, a divided people are weak, but a united people are strong. If the Southeast decides to stand together and say no to Tinubu, then the whole country will see their strength. But if they allow themselves to be bought with money or empty promises, they will regret it later. He reminded them that politicians often come with sweet words during campaigns, but actions speak louder than words. Tinubu has already shown his action by refusing to free Nnamdi Kanu, even though it is within his power. He asked the people a simple question: if Tinubu could not do this small thing now, what will he ever do for the Southeast in the future? Obi told them to think deeply before making their choice. He explained that this election is not about tribe or party, but about justice, truth, and respect. He urged the people not to be deceived by those who will say that politics is about compromise. According to Obi, there are some issues that cannot be compromised, and the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu is one of them. Peter Obi's voice carried the weight of both frustration and hope. He was frustrated that the Southeast had been sidelined for so long, but he was hopeful that this time, the people would open their eyes. He reminded them that Nnamdi Kanu's case is not just about one man sitting in detention, but about a symbol of how the Southeast has been treated in Nigeria. He told them that if they ignore this and still vote for Tinubu, they will only be telling the world that they are willing to accept disrespect. He also pointed out that the Southeast has suffered too much to continue voting for leaders who do not care about them. He said that young people have cried out, mothers have cried out, elders have spoken, and yet nothing has changed. For Obi, this is the right time for the people to send a clear message. That message must be that the Southeast will not give support to anyone who treats them as if their concerns do not matter. Peter Obi's warning was simple and direct. He said that no true son or daughter of the Southeast should even think of voting for Tinubu again. He said that when you vote for a man who ignores your pain, you are simply telling him that your pain does not matter. He said it is time for the Southeast to rise above fear and rise above lies. It is time for them to show that their votes are not for sale, and their dignity is not for trade. Obi reminded the people that history will remember this moment. Years from now, their children will ask them what they did when Nnamdi Kanu was locked away and the power to free him was in the hands of Tinubu. Did they rise and stand for truth, or did they bend down and support the same leader who refused to do the right thing? He told them not to allow shame to follow them in the future. The choice is now, and the choice is clear. Peter Obi's warning echoed like a drumbeat across the land. He wanted every man and woman from the Southeast to understand that this election is more than politics. It is a test of loyalty to their people. And his final words were strong: anyone from the Southeast who votes for Tinubu after he refused to free Nnamdi Kanu has chosen betrayal over brotherhood, and such a choice cannot be forgiven by history. After Peter Obi gave his warning to the Southeast, it did not take long before Verydarkman added his voice. He spoke in his usual strong and fearless way, and he made sure that nobody misunderstood his words. He said that Obi was not only right but that the people of the Southeast must take the warning as a serious command. Verydarkman said it very plain: If you are from the southeast and you still vote for Tinubu in the coming election, then you are not a true son of the land. He explained that this was not about politics alone, but about respect for where you come from. According to him, anybody can argue about party or tribe, but there are some things that go beyond those arguments. When your brother is in prison, and the leader who has the power to release him refuses, you must not support that leader again. For Verydarkman, it is a matter of dignity and pride. If you betray your own when he needs you the most, then you are nothing but a stranger to your people. Verydarkman reminded the people that Nnamdi Kanu is not just another man in prison. He is a voice that has spoken for the Southeast, whether people agree with him or not. He has stood for something bigger than himself, and that alone makes his case very important. He told the young people of the Southeast to think carefully. He said that too often, young men and women are used by politicians to dance, to clap, and to shout during campaigns, but at the end of the day, they are forgotten. He warned them not to let that happen again. He spoke with passion, pointing out that the same Tinubu who now comes to ask for votes had the chance to prove that he listens to the people. He could have freed Nnamdi Kanu and used it to show respect to the Southeast, but he did not. Verydarkman asked, if Tinubu could not act now when the matter is clear and the people are watching, will he suddenly act tomorrow after he has collected their votes? The answer, he said, is no. To him, supporting Tinubu after this is not only foolish but shameful. He said that every true son and daughter of the Southeast should carry this matter in their heart. He explained that betrayal is not always when you pick up a weapon or when you fight your brother. Betrayal can also come quietly, when you choose to side with the person who hurts your own people. He said that when the Southeast gives their votes to Tinubu after all this, they are betraying themselves, their land, and their children. Verydarkman also took time to address the excuses that some people like to give. He said that some will say politics is about strategy and compromise. But he insisted that there are limits to compromise. He said, how can you compromise with your dignity? How can you compromise with your brother's freedom? How can you compromise with your own respect? He made it clear that politics without respect for justice is not worth supporting. He challenged the Southeast youths in particular, because they are the ones who carry the future. He told them to stop chasing small handouts from politicians who never care about them after elections. He said that a bag of rice, a t-shirt, or a little money during campaigns cannot replace their future. He asked them to think beyond today and remember that the choices they make now will affect their children tomorrow. Verydarkman was also angry at the way some people from the Southeast try to justify supporting Tinubu. He said that such people are only after their own stomach. They do not care about the suffering of the land. He told them that if they think selling their vote is wisdom, they will discover later that they sold their pride and gained nothing in return. He warned that history does not forget those who betray their own people. He explained that what Obi said is not just advice, it is a command from the spirit of the land. It is a reminder that the Southeast must stand united. Verydarkman told the people that strength is in unity, and weakness is in division. If one man sells out, it weakens the whole house. He pleaded with the people to shut their ears to lies and stand firm on this truth. Tinubu refused to free Nnamdi Kanu, and therefore Tinubu does not deserve their votes. His words were fiery, but they carried wisdom. He told them that silence is not an option anymore. He said if you refuse to speak out, then you are part of the betrayal. He encouraged everyone to use their voice, to use their platform, and to use their vote to say no to Tinubu. He made it clear that no excuse would be accepted, because the matter is too clear to be ignored. In his closing words, Verydarkman repeated himself so nobody could pretend not to understand. He said, if you are from the Southeast and you still vote for Tinubu, you are not a true son of this land. You are not a true daughter of this land. You are a stranger wearing our name. He said this with force, and he left it hanging in the air like a heavy truth. Through his support, he gave more strength to Obi's warning. Together, their voices carried one strong message: betrayal must not be allowed in this election, and anyone who tries to betray the Southeast by voting Tinubu must carry the shame of that choice forever. When Peter Obi and Verydarkman both gave their warnings, the message became louder and clearer. It was no longer just one voice speaking, it was two strong voices calling for the same thing. And that call was for the Southeast to be united, to stand firm, and to send a message that cannot be ignored. The message was simple: no son or daughter of the Southeast should give Tinubu their vote, because he has shown with his actions that he does not care about the land or its people. They reminded the people that elections are not only about parties and campaigns. Elections are about the people choosing who respects them and who does not. Obi and Verydarkman said that this coming election is a test of unity. If the Southeast stands together, then they will show strength. But if they are divided, then they will remain weak and forgotten. The choice is in their hands. Obi explained again that Tinubu had the power to release Nnamdi Kanu, but he refused. Verydarkman repeated that this refusal is not something small that can be brushed aside. It is a wound, and voting for Tinubu would only make that wound deeper. They said that when a leader disrespects you openly, and you still turn around to reward him with your vote, then you are telling him that you do not matter. And when you tell a leader that you do not matter, he will continue to treat you like nothing. They both asked the Southeast to think of their children. What kind of future will those children inherit if the people today decide to betray themselves? Will they grow up in a land where dignity has no meaning? Will they grow up believing that selling your pride is normal? Obi and Verydarkman said that this is the time to break that cycle. This is the time to show that the Southeast can stand tall and say no to disrespect. They also explained that unity is not just about words, but about action. Every voter from the Southeast must make a choice that shows loyalty to the land. That choice, they said, must be to withhold every single vote from Tinubu. If the Southeast can come together and do this, then the whole nation will see that they cannot be ignored. But if they fail, and some begin to run after money, promises, or fear, then they will lose their chance to make a statement. Verydarkman pointed out that politicians love a divided people. When the Southeast is divided, politicians can buy some with money, deceive others with words, and silence the rest with fear. But when the Southeast is united, no money, no promise, and no lie can break them. Obi supported this by saying that unity is the greatest weapon of a people who are seeking justice. Without unity, there is no strength. They both warned against those who will try to confuse the people with sweet speeches. Some will say that Tinubu has plans for the Southeast. Some will say that politics is about negotiation. But Obi and Verydarkman said that the proof of Tinubu's heart is already clear. If he refused to free Nnamdi Kanu when he had the chance, then no promise he makes should be trusted. They told the people to open their eyes and not be fooled again. Obi reminded the people that history will not forget this moment. If the Southeast betrays itself by voting for Tinubu, history will record that they chose fear over pride, money over dignity, and betrayal over unity. But if they stand together and refuse, history will record that the Southeast stood strong even in difficult times. He said that one day, their children and grandchildren will look back at this period and ask, what did our fathers and mothers do when we were disrespected? He asked the people to make sure that the answer to that question is one they can be proud of. Verydarkman added that true sons of the land cannot stand aside when their brother is suffering. He said that every man and woman must look in the mirror and ask themselves a question: if I vote for Tinubu, am I standing for my people or am I standing against them? He said that the answer is already clear. Anyone who votes for Tinubu after all this is standing against the Southeast, against justice, and against their own brother, Nnamdi Kanu. The call for unity was not only about rejecting Tinubu, but also about protecting the future of the Southeast. Obi and Verydarkman explained that leaders only respect those who respect themselves. If the Southeast shows that it respects itself by standing firm, then future leaders will think twice before ignoring them. But if they show weakness, then future leaders will continue to treat them as if their voices mean nothing. Their voices joined together like one. They said to the Southeast, do not let fear silence you. Do not let money blind you. Do not let promises deceive you. Stand as one, because only in unity can you find strength. They said that this election is not just about today, but about tomorrow. It is not just about one man in detention, but about the soul of a whole region. At the end, their message was sharp and final. This is the time for the Southeast to rise. This is the time to prove that their dignity is not for sale. This is the time to prove that they will never betray their own. And most of all, this is the time to prove that they are united. They said, if you are truly a son or daughter of the Southeast, then let your vote show it. Do not vote for Tinubu. Stand for your land, stand for your people, and stand for justice. The call for unity was not just a speech. It was a command, a plea, and a reminder that the future of the Southeast depends on the choices they make today.